I have not discussed about AutoGen yesterday, right? So this is the first time we are going through the AutoGen mind map. Okay. So we are about to discuss AutoGen. So what is AutoGen? So AutoGen is basically a Python-based framework that creates multi-agent system. So all AutoGen, Crew AI, LangGraph, all are Python-based framework that creates multi-agent systems. Now in AutoGen, these multi-agent systems are conversation-based. So uh, chat is the king in this case, right? AutoGen. So best if we are looking for the cases where it is best to use. So wherever in use cases wherever chat is the king, that is one of the best use case for AutoGen. Where agent can discuss and collaborate. Collaborate means brainstorming can be done. And wherever we need reasoning depth or wherever we need dynamic problem solving. Now, as we know, right? So if there is something which we brainstorm or discuss or conversate, then possibility is that you will be able to find the reasoning depth and you will find uh, the solution to even the most complex thing. So that's where the AutoGen chat mode is there, which helps in solving the dynamic problem. Now, when we talk about core components, so first is agent, and we have two types of agent, assistant agent and user proxy agent. And assistant agent are basically the LLM powered agent, whereas user proxy agent is something that simulates human or execute code. So these are two types of agents that we have. Then we have the concept of group chat, and we have group chat manager, and then conversation loops and tools. Now, this section, important consideration, I will explain you later. What is this? I will let you know later. So what we can do now is, let me open VS Code and I will walk you through the basic code, basic usage of AutoGen. Okay, so this is the code which I have written using Olama to demonstrate the basic usage of AutoGen. Now, as a first step, what we do pip install, right? So these are the pip install commands you have to run. Pip install AutoGen, AG2 OpenAI, and then AG2 Olama if you are using Olama. And LLM configuration you need to do. So just LLM configuration you need to do. So unlike in True AI, you are creating instance of LLM, right? Here you just have to do the LLM configuration in this particular manner or in this dictionary format. And when we talk about this AutoGen flow, so what it is demonstrating, so I'm just creating a simple AI system where user is giving some query, and then what we have to do, just simple work. So research should be done on that particular topic what user is giving, and then final response will be showcased to user. So writer or writing of the final response. So in this simple use case, so I'll be creating two agents, research agent and writer agent. And so these are AI assistant agents, right? And apart from that, I will create user proxy agent also. So user proxy agent will be something who will simulate human. So this is the overall use case we want to implement here. Now, research agent, first is research agent. So this is how we'll create the research agent. So we'll be using assistant agent, this particular class, and we will be importing directly from AutoGen. So from AutoGen, we are importing assistant agent, user proxy agent, group chat, and group chat manager. All the concepts, all the AutoGen related concept, the classes, respective classes, we are importing. And when we are creating this agent, we are giving the name of the agent. So research agent is the name we are providing, and LLM configuration equal to LLM configuration. So whatever configuration we have given above, we'll pass the same configuration here. And then system message. So system message is something which will give the, it is like it's a prompt which will give the instruction what this particular agent is supposed to do. So I have written system message as you are a research assistant. Your job is to explain the given topic clearly. So this is the research assistant, research agent I have created. Next agent I created was writer agent. So writer agent, same way I will create writer agent equal to assistant agent, and then name I am giving to writer agent, LLM config, and then the system message or the prompt, what I want my writer agent to do. So I'm writing, you are a writer agent. Convert the research into clean bullet points and keep it under 50 words. And then finally, I'm creating human agent. Now, this is, as I told you, right? There are two types of agent. First is the assistant agent, right? And second is user proxy agent. So the human agent that I'm creating should be of type user proxy agent. So user proxy agent, for human agent, I'll use this class, and then name I will be giving, and human input mode. So what it is all about? So it is about enable HITL, human in the loop. So how do we do that? I'll tell you that also. But for now, when we keep it as never, it means the human in the loop will not be considered. And if we'll make it as always, then wherever the AI agents will think that they require input from human, that is from any person, any human, actual human, not this user proxy agent. So wherever these agent thinks that the feedback or input is required from the humans, then at that point, when we will make it as always, it will pause the execution. And code execution config will be keeping as false. And guys, I have someone at the door, so I'll just pause for 2 minutes. Okay. So this is how we decide human input mode, never or always. So what we have done? So we have created agents. How many types of agents we have created? We have created research agent, right? Which is assistant. The type is assistant agent. And then we have also created writer agent, which is also assistant agent. And then we have also created human or user proxy agent, user proxy agent. Now, next step is to basically create group chat. After that, what we will do, we will create a group chat manager. Then we will consider the user query. After that, we will initiate the chat. And finally, we will print the output. So these are the steps that we are going to implement in this code. So this part we have seen. Okay, now let's see create group chat. So we are creating group chat now. So this is how we create the group chat. So we'll be creating the instance of group chat and agents. So what agents you want to keep in that group chat, we will be providing all agents. So user proxy agent, research agent, and writer agent. All three agents I'll put, and then maximum round 6. So maximum round 6 denotes, so whenever one agent will talk in the chat, that is one round. Then if some another agent is talking, that is another round. So one round is one agent talking. So 6 round means it will the execution will allow at max 6 times, and then after that it will terminate. So this is termination condition basically. Maximum round is 6. Then after that we are creating group chat manager, where we will mention group chat, whatever group chat we have created. So that attribute will provide here, and then LLM configuration, whatever we have created above this LLM configuration. So group chat agent created, group chat manager created. Next is I am hard coding the user query, explain AI in healthcare. So this query, so what happens when we'll start the chat? So who is acting as a human here? User proxy, right? So user proxy is responsible for initiating the chat. And while initiating the chat, we will mention the manager, group chat manager, who will manage the chat. And then first message. The first message will be this particular message, explain AI in healthcare. So this is how the chat will take place. And next thing is that we will be printing the output. Now you can see here, so group chat is the instance from which I will be using to print the messages. So group chat output will be basically group chat dot messages I will use to print the output. And this particular thing, this is basically the list of dictionaries. So first of all, this is list. And what does this list contains? This list contains dictionary. So this is list of dictionary. And if you want to extract the final message from the group chat, then as it is a list, so from list, if you want to, so this list will contain dictionary, right? So this is first dictionary, which will represent the chat from one agent from each round. This is second dictionary, this is third dictionary, and this is fourth dictionary, and so on as per the size. Now, if you want to extract the final message from this dictionary, this message, so you will use negative indexing of the list, right? So -1. So that's what it says, final message in the group chat. So group chat dot messages -1 with -1 index. So when you will do that, it will extract the dictionary out of it. Now from that dictionary, you want to print the content. So in that dictionary, you will there is a content key which you will use. So dict dot content, if you'll do, so it will print the content. Again, from a specific agent, if you want to get the message, so you will use list comprehension. So what you will do first, you will use a for loop on group chat dot messages. So this is a list, right? So you are creating a for loop on the list, and each extracted element will be a dictionary. And then on that, you are checking that so this dictionary, what I am extracting, I am saving that in M. So from that dictionary M, I am checking if the name M dictionary, I mean, in that dictionary M, if the name is writer agent, then what I am doing, I am collecting all the content of the dictionary where the agent is writer agent. So that way, I'll be able to get all the messages from a specific agent. So this is using list comprehension I'm doing. Okay. And then again, so this thing, what I am extracting out will be a list. And then again, the last message, if I want to check from the writer agent, I will do -1 on it and I'll be able to get it. Okay, so this is something you need to explore, uh, how you can extract out different kinds of output. So let's try to run this code. And as we are using Olama, it may take some time. It may be a little slow also sometimes. So you can see the proxy user proxy agent is starting the chat. It is asking, I mean, it has put the message explain AI in healthcare in the group chat. And then it is showing that next speaker is research agent. He will do research on this and then he will paste its finding on the chat. Okay, so meanwhile this code runs, I'll show you the type of output that it will generate. Okay, so it will generate this kind of output. As I said, right? So group chat messages will be in the form of, it will be first of all list, and each of the element in this list will be the dictionary, which contains role, content, and name of the agent. I mean, each conversation around it is showing that dictionary is denoting basically. So let's do one thing. So we will run this code. What all you can do with this output, what all things you can extract. So we'll try to understand those things. Okay, so the first thing, okay, let me open another this shell. Second. E N E N. Oh, okay, sorry, spelling mistake. So I have activated my virtual environment. Now let's say this is what I'm getting, the final, group chat messages. Now, if I want to know the size of the list, so I will print like this, right? The size of the list will be the length. I mean, this is how I calculate the length of the list. So I'll run Python -m auto. Okay, AutoGen spelling is wrong. Gen. Size of the list is 6, means it is holding 6 conversation. And if you pay attention here, maximum round we have given 6, right? Here, maximum round is 6 that we have given in the code. So the final result that I'm getting The length of this particular list is also 6 because 6 is the maximum conversation round that I have mentioned. Okay, this is one thing. Now, right? This is how we have extracted out the messages, last message from the writer agent, right? And let's say we want to understand how many times the writer agent has responded in the chat. Okay. So how many times, what we will do? Number of times writer agent had uh, involved in the chat. So what I will do, so this writer agent message will be the list, and I'll just calculate the length of it. So because this particular list, writer agent, this list, it will have respective element from each conversation for writer agent. So if I'll find the size of this list, I will be able to know how many times the writer agent was involved in the chat. So if I'll run this, what happened? Size of the list. Okay, I haven't saved it. Okay, so it is 1. Number of time is 1. So writer agent was involved only one time in the chat. Now let's see user proxy agent, how many times he was in the user proxy agent was involved in the chat. So if I'll run this, so you can see writer agent was involved one time and user proxy agent has chatted 3 times. Let's go to the another terminal and see whether the output got generated. Okay, it is still running because we are using Llama. But yeah, I mean, it is generating some response within the chat. It will produce final output in this particular format, in which I have just pasted in this particular module, Python module. So this is how you can play around with the output, and this is how there are many use cases which can come around on the generated output. So how many times any particular agent got involved into the chatting, and what is the first message from this particular agent, what is the third message from this particular agent. All those questions can come around the output that got generated. So just wanted to give you a quick idea on how you can play around with the output. Okay, it is still running. Let it run. So this is about a very basic usage of AutoGen. So we have used Olama here. If you want to use OpenAI, you just have to, what you have to do, you just have to replace the proper LLM config setting like this. Here you can see model I am using is GPT-4o. I'm setting up API key, and that way I'll be able to use OpenAI model also. Now, one important thing, important consideration that I was talking about, which I told I'll cover later. So AutoGen, as we know, right? It is a chat-based multi-agent orchestration framework. It is chat-based, but chat is not the only way in which we can orchestrate using AutoGen. So there is a non-chat way also. So AutoGen can implement use cases using chats, and it can also implement without chat also. Now using chat, so when we should implement using chat? So whenever you require brainstorming and refinement loop, then you should be using chats. That's what we have discussed so far, right? And then there are cases where we can implement AutoGen without chats also. What are those cases? For fixed flow. So whenever we want to implement fixed flows, there we don't have to use the chats. So it will be kind of a overkill. It will be using the chats for fixed flows also. And you might be seeing on internet, on various study references that uh, I mean, everyone are using chat unnecessarily. They are overkilling it, right? But uh, the best usage of chat is in all those use cases where brainstorming is required and dynamic routing and dynamic, decision making is it needs to be implemented. In all those cases, it is good to use chat, because if you use chat unnecessarily, then it will, cost you unnecessary token cost, and then you are unnecessarily adding the complexity within your code. So use chat smartly wherever you need brainstorming and dynamic decision making. And for fixed flows, you can, implement without chat also. So I'll just show you how you can implement AutoGen without chat also. Okay, it is still running. Let it run. Let it take its own sweet time. Meanwhile, we'll see another case. So AutoGen basic usage without chat. So everything is same. We will be creating research agents, research agent, writer agent, and here we are not creating user proxy agent because chat we are not implementing, and hence we don't want anyone to look over or act as a human there. We'll be taking user query, and what we are doing here. Uh, okay, this is GPT-4 we are using. Okay, fine. What we are doing, first we are invoking research agent. So research output will be research agent dot generate reply. Like this, we will be calling the research agent, and we will be providing uh, the parameters arguments in chat format like this. Messages equal to role user content, and then in content we are giving user query. So research output, we will just directly print the research output like this. Now, when we will be invoking the writer agent next, so here we'll be using the same. We'll be using the same syntax, but here content will be the research output, this particular. Okay. So this is how we will be basically using the non-chat mode in AutoGen. Okay, this is still running. Okay, let me run this code using OpenAI, and I'll just unshare my screen, put my OpenAI API key, and then reshare it again. Okay, so let me run this module where I have created the flow without the chat usage in AutoGen. So Python -m AutoGen basic usage basic usage without chat. You can see that uh, it has created the output, right? It has generated the output research. This is the research output. And if you'll go further down, you can see writer agent also is generating the output. This is writer agent output. Okay, so this is how you can go ahead and implement AutoGen without the usage of chat. Okay, see the Olama one is still running. So these are some of the disadvantages which we face when we use open source model, because our local system do not have that much GPU power, which support high efficiency operations for these Olama, I mean the open source models. Wherever when you will be using the paid APIs, so you don't need to worry about your local GPU, local systems GPU. Cool. So this is about AutoGen chat and uh, non-chat mode. Okay. Now there is one more use case which I want to quickly show you, and you can try it out separately also. And if you want this code, I can share this code with you as well. So this is the code generator that I have created using AutoGen. So in the code generator, what I am doing here, I am creating three agents. First is code generator agent, then test case generator agent, and then debugger agent. So these three agents I am creating, and again, I'll be using Olama chat completion client here. I'll be using Olama here. So what it is doing, it will be creating the code, Python code, and test case generator will generate the unit test cases, and it will run the code and test case dynamically. And if there is any issue in the test cases, if some of the test cases fail, then debugger agent will take on from there, and it will debug the code which got generated here, code gen, and then it will try to fix the code and then create the fixed file, I mean the fixed code file. So how we are doing here, so we have generated three agents. So first is code gen. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show you. So if you pay attention here, if you can see, uh, okay, yeah, so these APIs which you can see, pip install AutoGen AG2. So these are older AutoGen libraries, right? And in this code gen, I am using the latest one, the newer version. So pip install, you can see AutoGen agent chat, AutoGen -ext, OpenAI, AutoGen -ext Ulama. So these are newer AutoGen libraries. And here the imports will look different. Here the LLM configuration will look different. So in the older versions, you can see we are just creating one dictionary for LLM config, right? Whereas in this, with new version, we are creating using this particular class name. For Olama, we'll be using Olama chat completion client. For OpenAI, we'll be using OpenAI chat completion client. And the import assistant agent that you will be importing will be from different package. Here it is directly from AutoGen. So these are some of the differences. And when you will be searching on the codes over the internet, you'll find people are randomly using somewhere they are using newer version, somewhere they are using older version, and when you will try to run the code by importing by pip installing older one, and then you are trying to run the code with the newer libraries, it will fail. And that's when the people gets confused. So just wanted to quickly summarize on this part as well. Okay, so this is the code gen agent that I have created. I have given the name, system message I have given. So what I am asking my code gen to develop, write a Python function to check the palindrome. And I'm asking define the function in this particular format. Ignore spaces, punctuation, and case. Means what it means is that if let's say I'm giving a text naman, if I'm keeping n as a capital, first n as a capital, last n as a small case, then just ignore it. Just consider everything in lower case and just ignore some additional spaces and punctuation mark if it's there in the input, and return code. So this is the prompt that I'm giving. And for test case generator, I'm creating this agent this way. Write Python test for is palindrome, return only code. And debugger agent, I'm creating this like this. Fix failing Python code, return only corrected code. Okay, so you can see here also I have not created user proxy agent because this is without chat. I'm using it, creating this particular code. And then I have created a helper function. What it is doing, it will save the file. So whatever content you are basically generating, it will save that content in the external file. Now I have created a main function. So I have generated the solution first. Okay, what I am doing, so I am just calling CodeGen and then this particular CodeGen, and I am just running it. So here you can see using the older libraries, I have to use generate reply, right? Whereas using the new library, I have to use dot run instead of generate reply. Dot run, right? So what I'm asking my agent CodeGen dot run create solution dot py, and then solution, I am saving it in solution. And once the solution is generated, once the code is generated, I am saving that in CodeGen slash solution dot py file. Similarly for test, I will save and okay, so solution.py I have saved, test solution.py I have saved it. Now, what I am doing, I am on the run, I am creating one runner code. So that runner code is the code which contains the file that contains the code as well as test case both together in a single file. So for that, what I am doing, I am reading my solution.py. I am reading my test solution.py, and then I am creating runner code. Why I'm creating this? Because sometimes what happens if I want to run these uh, code, so sometimes problem happens when AI agents try to create the import statement. So I'm creating this runner code to explicitly mention these import statement in that file. So from solution import is palindrome like this, and then I'm giving the test code. So just to copy paste the correct import statement, I am creating this runner code. And again, runner code, whatever I am generating, I'm keeping that in a separate file, runner.py file. So how many files I have created so far? First file solution.py, which contains the generated code. Then test solution.py, which contains the test cases, unit test cases generated. Then runner.py, which contains the code that you can run under in the background using sub process module. So sub process module I am using, and I will pass this runner code in this sub process module and it will run your Python code. And then test result, I am okay. What I am doing in this line? So result, if it runs successfully, then the return code is 0. So if result dot return code is equal to 0, then save it inside pass. So this will be saved as true. Okay, and then test result, I am printing both things, standard output std out as well as standard error. Now the next logic which I am implementing here is debug only when test fails. So when are the test failing, in which condition? On line number 100, if the value of this passed is false, that means my test case is failed. And in that case, my debugger will come in action. So if not passed, this condition I am putting, print debugger activated, and then I'm using debugger agent. So debugger.run, and the instruction that I am giving, fix this code so that it passes all the tests. So under code section, I am giving the first code that got generated and test error, whatever got printed while executing the test cases, everything I am giving, and then I am asking that debugger agent to fix that code. Now, when I run this code, it generated me 3 to 4 files. So first is solution file. You can see it generated this particular code, palindrome code, and this is something which gets added when you generate the code using AI agent. So when you give when you ask AI agents to remove this using prompt, so you will give, okay, remove Python and this backslashes, three single backslashes, what you caret sign, or what do you call this? Backstroke quotes, back quotes, or backstroke quotes. If you'll ask them to remove from prompt, sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not work. So in order to remove this from the file, what you can do, you can write a separate function which will pass through this file and remove these text from starting as well as from ending of the file. Okay, so solution, this is solution.py that got generated. Then test solution.py, you can see here it is not there. But if you'll run it again, so it can happen that this particular text might get added here in this file also. So it generated test solution.py with all the test cases, then runner.py, and there are some errors. So you need to work out on removing this particular errors, because this is, so code generation is a very complex task if you want to achieve it using your own agent, creating your own agent, and you have to uh, fix it iteratively. So in one shot, you'll not be able to generate the correct code, everything correctly. So this is the first step that I have shown you. Now, in whatever way this code is generated, you have to just fix it accordingly based on the output it is showing you. And that's how you can, iteratively produce the correct code. As I said, right, generating code by creating your own customized agent is one of the hardest tasks in, generative AI. And then fixed solution is something which debugger, if the test fail, then debugger will check this solution.py. If there is some error, it will fix it. Again, this is generating here, right? Sometimes if I'll run, sometimes it will not generate, sometimes it will generate. So you have to accordingly handle all these cases. Cool. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to discuss about AutoGen. So let me quickly brief what we have learned about AutoGen. So AutoGen overview, we have seen what is the AutoGen overview. Then first use case, we have seen AutoGen basic use case with chat. And we have also seen AutoGen basic use case without chat. And we have also seen library differences in older versus newer versions, and how to play around with the final generated output. We have also seen AutoGen code generator code, and I have given you the starter points on how you can generate the code and how you can improve it efficiently going forward. So, and we have also seen, okay, human in the loop is not, we haven't seen human in the loop, right? Okay, let me show you human in the loop really quick. Okay, this is still running very good. Okay, human in the loop, I will show you. So for that, let me open this And here I have given never, right? So let me give always here. So whenever whenever I'm giving always, and if I will try to run this, it will ask for human input before proceeding. Python AutoGen basic usage OpenAI. Okay, why it did not work?
File is not saved, I think.
Okay, let me save it and run again. See, so it has given me the message that replying as user proxy agent, provide feedback to chat manager. So either I can skip, press enter and skip the flow. It will, continue to the end. Or if there is something which I want this chat manager to do. So here what I can do, I can ask, okay, focus on benefits more and then respond, then generate the final response, or focus on challenges part more and then respond. So I can in between, as a human, I am the human in the loop right now, and I can provide the necessary feedback. Now let me uh, type and say, do research. Okay, do research on quantum com, quantum computing instead. So it has done the research on AI in healthcare so far, but as a human, I want it to do research on quantum computing instead now. So let me press enter. So it will do the research in quantum computing and then it will generate the output like this. Okay. So this is what human in the loop workflow looks in AutoGen. And let's make it as never, back to never. Okay. So this is all about AutoGen. I think with this lecture, we have completed everything with respect to technical things that was planned out for this cohort, applied and agentic AI specialization course. There is one more class left in which I will discuss about the mindset engineering, the modern meditation technique to change your brain waves at will, and I will give you a quick roadmap on Gen AI and agentic AI implementation within your organization. Okay, so yeah, anything from any one of you? The overall feedback about this cohort, how did it went? Did you guys enjoyed? Anything special that you learned? I want to hear back from you guys. So we have covered machine learning and deep learning basic concepts also. I wanted to make sure that you know machine learning and deep learning, how it works. And we have done a lot of coding there also. And I think this batch went on for a long time because I was in a laid back condition, laid back attitude, and I wanted to take it slow so that you guys can learn. So any feedback, Deepak, Raj, Sunny?
Yes, Sabina. So that was a great, I would say, overall. And the way you taught us, like the mind map and the concept which you have, like manage with the use case, and the physically connected with the use case and whatever you have told. So that is a great, I would say.
Thanks, Deepak. Any other feedback from anyone? Raj, Sunny, long cohort, I believe.
Mhm. Yep. And the session which you have, taken in between, that motivational session.
Yes,
So
yes.
that was also great. And I can, I can relate my older journey when I was trying to switch from telecom to DevOps. So yeah, I can relate that one. In some case, I fell into that valley. I forgot the name which you have said.
Valley of Valley of disappointment.
Yeah, because I was learning and I thought I am ready for interview. But when I went to the interview, so sometime interviewer said, you just study the only theoretical knowledge, you didn't do any practical, and you came to appear into interview. So sometimes they insult also. So there was a, I would say, a a I can say, uh, how can I
Protein
say?
workshop. Protein
Yeah,
workshop.
protein, that I also feel, because when I was trying, one more guy was studying with me, so he motivated me also at that time, because I was in a situation like I was about to delete my CV from Naukri.com, that I will not be able to switch from telecom to other. So yeah, protein also needed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Vinod. So the overall course was very informative and very organized. Um, the next step, I also like to to know like how do we prepare for an interview? How do I know which job we have to focus?
So
What kind of
you have to first identify the basic use cases that you can implement within your organization or within your project using agentic AI. Take very small steps. You don't have to think big. You don't have to think flashy. You just have to focus on basic use cases that you can implement, and I mean the low hanging fruits within your project. So those you can target, and then you can start implementing some of those use cases, and that's how you can march forward. And as I said, so you have to keep on practicing your coding skills, and you have to keep studying. It's not that if the course is getting over, then you have to stop studying altogether. So you have to it's a continuous effort. You have to put your continuous effort in this, and you have to continuously uh, keep learning the things, because there will be some new libraries, new concept which will be evolving, which are evolving, and which will come into the market. So you have to just keep an eye on those concepts also, and then just keep learning attitude, and then take basic use cases and implement that. That's the best way.
so after this, like if I want to, since I am from testing, so I need to switch some AI kind of domain. So how do I know which profile it suits for me? How do I apply and I mean go for an whether we'll get a call or not? Not sure.
So again, as I said, right, so ML, machine learning, deep learning, Python, you already know, and now generative AI, agentic AI also Now, just if you should not look just for testing perspective, you should also look with respect to development and other domain on how you can implement these agentic AI use cases. Because now whatever you have learned is not just testing specific. So it is a universal thing with respect to agentic AI. So system design, right? The concept of agentic AI system designs also, which I have taken within my course. How to what all things you need to take under consideration while designing agentic AI systems. So only thing that you can take on from here is to, as I said, right, identify the basic use cases that you can identify, that you can implement, implement them, and then go on mediocre level or advanced level use cases. So once you will do that, down the line, you will be able to, showcase that in your CV, and probably you will be able to transit from testing profile to complete data science or ML engineering profile.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. I think that's pretty much it then. Thank you guys. So there is one session, as I said. So I'll keep you informed about when I'll be going to take that session. So that will be our last session, and I'll keep you posted on the group. And
We know yesterday's class, was it recorded?
yes, it was recorded. So I'll share the link today.
Okay. Thank
Okay. Thank you guys. Have a nice day ahead, and see you soon in the last session. Thank you.